Hi, Dyslexic Genius here, Brad Hurt. My phone number is 864-236-1680, or you can email me at dyslexicgeniushurt@gmail.com. What I'm going to talk about is that having a bracket to make it much easier to rebuild your motors. This bracket I built has this hole in it because like Victor 6 motors and stuff, they're round. The early stuff is round, so it bolts in. So you can see I have different screw holes right here to mount it. And they go all the way through, and I can use the same motor bolts like this on the VIC 11 to hold it in place. This one I designed so I can turn it upright like this because the whole motor was sticking out. So on a VIC 11, all you really need is about a 1/2-inch piece of wood and 2 2x4s, a saw, a 1.5-inch wood hole saw drill, one of those wide, thin ones, and this is the screw, the motorboard bolt, as you would call it, and that will just bolt in right to the motor. But what's interesting when you do these, it makes things a lot easier. You can see down here how I have the governor drive gear on the spindle shaft perfectly aligned. Now watch, see how it moves up and down, but that's how it sits in the machine, and you can test it as it runs. And you can move this around on your vise to work on it. And I have this 2x4 here. This is about 8 inches. I don't know how long it is. I just guesstimate this is like, hacksaw and file work. So you can take that out. You can flip your motor around. And now you have a much easier way of working. But then you go, how am I going to adjust the speed after I get everything together and I have the crank handle right here? I can crank out. Make sure your crank handle sticks out so you can crank up. Well, what you do is you take a screwdriver. This is an old Craftsman. And you stick it under the speed control right here. And on the phonographs, you screw it down and this lifts up to set the speed. Well, you can get your motor running to about as fast or as slow as you want by moving the screwdriver. And while the motor's running here, you can adjust it. You can check everything running, the governors and everything. And the thing about it is, because the governor runs back this way, if you keep this governor bearing locked in place, you can put your finger on your governor bearing here while it's running. I'll show you when I have it finally done. You can unscrew this and you can finally adjust by moving this just a little bit in and out and tighten it down and run like a top. This just a little pointer I show you to make things easier on phonograph rebuild motors, and that's my tip for the day.